All right, so I just went over with Drew. Like he's gonna introduce himself and the band, and then we'll all go around and like introduce ourselves a little bit. And then I've got a list of notes to kind of like just touch on everything that we're doing. So,
okay,
and I'll ask some questions, and if we need to do some weird cuts and shit, I'll take care of all the video stuff at the end. But Drew, take it away, dude.
All right. What's up, everybody? This is Zero Sum coming at you live with episode 1.
There's no black and white in this conversation. Everything is turning gray.
A super special little series we're going to be doing. By the way, I'm Drew. I sing and I play guitar in Zero Sum.
I'm Zach. I sing and play bass.
Neat.
I'm Marty. I play the drums and I do harsh vocals if permitted.
If permitted.
And I'm Max. I'm the newest addition, also guitar, and turning into like multimedia producer of the band. So
we all came up with our top 20 favorite albums of all time. Put them in the bracket thingy. We're going to be going round by round. We're all going to listen to whatever the battle is and pick which one's better.
right. And
See
so
what we come up with.
We haven't really described rules to ourselves or each other yet. And I think this would be a really great way to like just right here, like figure out how are we actually doing this, right? So I figured this first time we could go 4 albums, two separate battles, right? And see how that works. Maybe that's not enough music. Maybe it's too much music. And we're basically this first round is all figuring out the seeds for the actual beginning of the competition.
It's the qualifier round.
Yeah, it's the qualifier round because we ended up having 10 albums that didn't fit into the primary bracket. And so because I didn't really even tell you guys yet, but how this all worked out, any of the albums that had multiple selections from like different members of the band, those automatically took like the top 1 through whatever spots. So those got seeded really, really high. Actually, I've got those right here. The list of like our top albums that we all shared. Those are the 10 albums that had at least 2 selections from the 4 of us. And then from there, I just started with Drew's top song that wasn't a shared album and just went down a list, down to Marty, and then back up from Marty through me to Zach to Drew, and then just back up and forth so that it was never like Drew's albums are always going to be ranked higher than Marty's. So
Yeah, and we have 69 total.
yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Yep. And so the way that all worked out, though, Drew, your albums, not your albums, yours and Zach's shared so many albums that you actually ended up not having enough low-ranking albums to like be in this first round. I think you've got like 1 or 2, you know.
Yeah.
But this first round is 1 of Marty's and 3 of mine because we had the most like, I don't want to say unique, but yeah, like, kind of unique. You and Zach share a lot of similar tastes. We'll put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So most of ours, I think, Zach, all of yours are on round 2. I'm not sure if you listened to
Pandora's Pinata is in round 1 because that was Zach's.
Is that Zach's?
Yeah.
Oh, Diablo Swing Orchestra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little avant-garde
And then
metal.
Gotcha.
Marty's,
Oh, I see
Marty's only
Ryan behind
contribution.
you, Max.
That's my roommate. Great. I thought maybe it'd be all right to introduce the albums and by the person that selected them.
Are we going through
and-
everything or just like the first?
No, not all of them. Just the
Okay.
4 that we're reviewing.
Oh, okay.
Ju-
So
just
that's
the
just you
battle,
and
you know?
Marty.
Yeah, and
That's
like
you and-
maybe if you want to say, so Marty, I'm gonna have you start with Kezia, and if you want to tell us a little bit about like some of your favorite songs or like why you picked it, you know.
All right. You do that to block Ryan.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. My pick is Kezia by Protest the Hero. Did we get a fact check on that year?
Yeah, it's definitely August 2005.
Okay, from August of 2005. I really like this album. It's progressive metal, which a lot of my picks are progressive metal. Concept album about the death of a young woman, which shares the theme of Metropolis 2, which is also a top 20 pick of mine. I don't know, it's really unique. I like the instrumentals and I like the vocals. Favorite songs off of it would probably be Blindfolds Aside,
Good
Turn
one. I like
Soonest
that
to
a
the
lot.
Sea, and Divine Suicide Decay.
Interesting. So Heretics and Killers isn't on your top song list?
That one's next, probably.
Okay. So Drew, you've never listened to this album, right?
Mm.
Okay. This is going to be an interesting one to see what you have to say about it first.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I listened to the intro track yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
And
let's
then I don't even
clarify
know
really quick.
Kindo, the next one.
Marty, do you want us to listen to the original or the remastered version?
I'm going by the original.
Okay.
Okay.
I,
So
I have the original.
we'll do the original then, because
I just listened to the remaster yesterday the whole way.
it's so good. The remaster is so great. But
All right, you can judge it by the remaster then. How different is it? Because I don't think I've heard the remaster.
There's just like I
there's-
know there's a piano intro.
there's like a
to,
20-second
that starts
piano
over
intro
background.
that allows the big kind of like volume swell intro to like come in better. You know,
I gotcha.
I like it.
Okay.
But
You guys can pick whatever version you listen to.
okay, maybe both.
We can do both. I don't care. I'll just listen again. It's not a big deal.
it's a,
I like the album, so
yeah, it's a definitely a good one. And so then, have any of you guys ever listened to Rhythm, Chord, and Melody by Reign of Kindo?
I'm pretty sure
Alright.
you maybe listened to a couple songs off of it. before.
Probably. I would.
Yeah.
So this is like an experimental indie rock meets jazz album. My top 20 list is kind of out there, not nearly as metal as you might expect it to be. But so this is by the band Reign of Kindo. I believe they're just going by the name Kindo now. It came out in August 2008. So we've got like pre-2010 battle here. My top songs are Moments in Between, Great Blue Sea, Nice to Meet You, and Hold Out. And I would say like as far as tone and melody go, these two albums are about as far away from each other as they possibly could be. It's very like this is like Sunday morning recovering from a hangover kind of music, you know? So
Is that speaking from experience?
yeah. Oh yeah, multiple times. Or like, you know, just kind of like hipster, somber, sad
Yeah,
shit. you know?
hipster douchebag.
Hipster douchebag. Yeah, definitely. Kinda, but jazz. It's got jazz.
You like jazz?
Yeah, so you like jazz?
I like jazz. Do you like jazz? And then somehow the other two albums are also mine.
Did you like randomize the seed? I didn't really catch how that kind of happened.
Well, yeah. So once we got to the bottom of the list, there were only so many songs left to be placed. because
Because of like overlap.
so many overlapped already, and
So-
so it didn't really like American
Max had
Idiot
the least
got
amount of
top.
overlap.
What?
So you had the least amount of overlap since you have
Mhm.
the most songs in the bottom.
Right, exactly. And so, I mean, maybe that's a blessing because you're gonna have to like cut out some of my songs or some of my albums really early on. I don't think anybody's gonna complain about that one.
And that means for the matchup that's yours against yours, we have to vote for one of your albums.
Yeah,
So
but,
one of yours is guaranteed to move on at the same time.
but which is gonna be weird because regardless of which of these next two albums you guys pick, it's gonna be up against Smash by The Offspring.
Oof.
So it's probably going to get voted out anyway. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so the other two albums are Habits by Elephant Tree. And Plans by Deathcab for Cutie. Have
Is that
you
like-
guys listened to either of those?
I've heard some Deathcap for Cutie, but I haven't like listened to like your albums yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And
in Marty's boat for that one.
Is Elephant Tree like Porcupine Tree but bigger?
Oh my god. They're like Porcupine Tree, but way more underground and not at all like Porcupine Tree.
Okay.
They're like
So I'm hearing a lot of similarities here.
yeah. They're like they describe themselves as psychedelic doom metal, but I don't think that
I
they're
don't know
very
how I feel about that.
I don't think they're very metal. I think they're a lot more like heavy groove, you know? Like
Okay.
it just kind of like meanders along, but like there's a lot of really, really amazing like peaks and valleys in the album. It kind of spread out between like these long like 4-minute passages that are just like kind of the same thing over and over, and then but just the way that they groove on things and then like kind of bring it up and then like let it fall back down and stuff. I don't know, you might understand why this is on my top 20 list. It just came out April this year,
Oh,
but
recent.
so very, very fresh. April of 2020 for anybody watching this in the far distant future.
The
Decades from now.
archaeologists that are digging this
Yeah.
up.
Just for
Unearthing the
historians
remains
that
of
are
the
writing
US.
the zero sum biopic, you know.
This is actually the last remaining piece of American culture.
The one thing that I really want you guys to pay attention to is the song's fall chorus going into Bird. I think there's just like this beautiful combination of like one song transitioning to the other that just punches you in the fucking face. And then Sales was ranked like #1 on some like smaller indie charts in the UK, but you know, it's notable. And then Plans, could talk about this one for a long time, but you know, it's Deathcab for Cutie, came out in 2005. Quick list of all of the kind of major points about it. It was the 5th studio album by Deathcab. It peaked at #4 on the Billboard 200, went platinum in 2008, was nominated for 2 Grammys. Like, it's a notable album for sure. I like to think of it as something very intimate, melancholic, and poetic. So, you know, it's going to be very low key compared to the Habits kind of like groove distortion in your face. So, yeah, see what you guys think for sure. At the end of the day, I think this is all about exposing each other to a lot more music. So,
So we're gonna listen to these 4, come back next week, and whenever the next episode is, talk about which beat what, and then introduce the next 4.
yeah, I think so. I think that would be
Gotcha.
pretty good. I
Or
would,
4 or more or less, depending
yeah.
on.
Well, so
Yeah.
actually, looking at the bracket, I kind of like the idea of doing 4 albums at a time.
Where is the chart? Like,
It's on
where's it
some
posted?
It
website.
is challenge.com. Can you guys see that?
Yes, I can.
Yep. It's challenge.com.
Challenge.com.
Challenge.com/0sum. So we've got Kezia and Rhythm, Chord, and Melody versus Habits and Plans. And so then following week, we've got these 4, and Drew, you're going to have a lot to talk about, I'm sure. But so then
I'm gonna have a lot of that one.
But then we've got week
Then we have
3 will be those two, and then also American Idiot versus whichever we choose in this first round.
Okay.
But then that will separate it so that we're not listening to all 4 albums in round 2. You know, because if we knocked out like these 3 at one, like seed 3, 4, and
I see what
5,
you're saying,
6.
yeah.
then it would be like we're listening to American Idiot, this one, Rage Against the Machine, and Volition, and then eventually we're going to come back and listen to all of those again to figure out round 3 kind of thing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I figured, this will be.
Do you want us to listen to every album like as the rounds progress, like re-listen to albums we're not entirely familiar with?
I think that would be beneficial, especially if we're only doing 4 albums per week. Like, I think the first time you listen to an album, you have to listen to it at least. You have to listen to it more than once, right? I don't think you can really grasp the music, like the deep music, if you only listen to an album once through.
Right. Yeah, and plus, the more you listen to it, it might grow on you.
Exactly, definitely.
It might go the other way.
Yeah, I mean, so that I already listened to the Charlie XCX album that Drew posted, and I was like, fuck, I think I like this, like, which I didn't expect at all. But so yeah, I mean, listen to your first time through, listen to it a couple times. But once we start moving into the later rounds, you can probably get away with like listening to it only once, just to like refresh yourself, kind of.
Especially if it's like 2 of your own albums, or if it's albums you're already like fairly familiar with.
Yeah, like I'm probably only going to listen to each of these once because I know all of them really well. But I would recommend take a couple notes on your first listen through, and
probably
then maybe a couple notes if you go back through it. Like just anything that jumps out and gets you, write it down so we can talk about it later.
Okay.
But yeah. Any final remarks? What you guys feeling? What you thinking?
I'm feeling sweaty right now.
Oh,
I was hiking.
Oh,
Yeah.
gross.
Where are we posting this to? Gonna do YouTube?
Probably YouTube.
But it would be cool if we had like the fans, listen to and post what they
Yeah,
like.
that is something I want to do. Anybody that wants to follow along and provide input and maybe like kind of secondary votes.
We can make like a
a
fan bracket with the same first rounds and then see.
Definitely.
I mean, it's kind of optimistic on how many
maybe
people
also
watching
as a
this.
tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker for the whatever wins.
I don't.
Ooh, Marty's not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
You don't like the tiebreaker? Okay.
No, I feel like the tiebreaker should be settled amongst us 4 still.
Okay, that's fair.
Have a whole
I agree.
debate.
Well, yeah.
Classic debate format. We just go in. State your case.
You state your case, then you get 2 rounds of rebuttals and then closing remarks.
Closing arguments, and then somebody wins. So
we have an arbitrator.
Yeah, we'll get Ryan back in. He's
Ryan
gonna
or
earn his
Rachel or
20%.
Get him back here.
So we have a Spotify playlist called the Zero Sum Top Album Challenge. And every week I will update that, so it's got the 4 albums that we're listening to. So it's all condensed, really accessible. And then for anybody else that wants to follow along, check this out. This is what we're doing. We're having fun. We're gonna figure out what album is the best.
4 idiots
this
in
is
an album
definitive.
bracket.
Actually,
no differing opinions allowed after.
Yeah, no. Like once we figure out the best album, that is the best album.
Including out of albums that aren't on the list. Like they're just not there.
If they were good, then they would have made the list.
That's true. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out after this point, it didn't make the list because it's not out yet. So
sorry, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, really. Like, how did none of us put that down? Marty and I were both like, "Wish you were here." 100%. But nobody picked Dark Side.
Wish you were here better. Dark Side of the Moon that'd be my top 50, but not top 20.
Easily.
Yeah, this is not a top 50 bracket.
No, that'd be a very.
I don't ever want to do that.
That's for freaking weenies.
Yeah.
That's too many.
Really quick, as like kind of a closing thing, which album do you think is going to take it? Marty, you go first.
Okay. I have to look at it. Hang on.
Okay. Somebody want to start?
I need to pull it up again, but from looking at it originally, I would say that probably Siren Song is going to be
I'm
pretty
thinking
far
Siren
in
Song is
there.
gonna
I think
make it
that's
far.
that's something that all four of us, I feel like, are pretty. We all like that album. Like,
Definitely, but not. It's not about which one.
I don't
you
know.
think is
No,
gonna
no, no.
make it
I know,
far.
but like,
which
I
one do
think,
you think is gonna take it all the way?
all right, well, I gotta pull up the actual bracket.
Yeah, I
real
got it pulled up
quick.
now.
Song. Okay. Ooh.
It's a tough bracket for sure.
It is
Wait,
tough.
is this the?
It's anyone's game, really.
Going into round 4, we very possibly could have Colors versus Siren Song, and
Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable.
yeah, because right now
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
vote
pick
Colours,
I'm gonna pick
yeah.
Colors every time. Yeah, like I like Siren Song, but it's not nearly in my top 20. So
Marty's gonna have an existential crisis when he gets to that
Yeah,
round.
Those are two of my top 3 albums. I mean, I'm wearing a Colors T-shirt right now, and I have it between the Buried Me flag behind me, so I gotta stay true.
yeah, dude, you got to represent. I don't know. It'll be interesting because I could also see
that would end up as a tie too, though, because I think me and Drew would pick Siren Song.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be different.
be interesting. Then it's
I'm
who I
gonna
could
I'm gonna
argue
try to
better.
put biases aside, or else whenever
know,
like
yeah.
my albums go against yours, I'm gonna pick mine.
Right. No,
Yeah.
so we should establish a really clear, like, how are we trying to decipher which albums are, like, what makes it a good album?
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, enjoyment is part of it, but it also
Mhm.
has to do with like the actual writing and how everything's tied together, the production, all that.
Definitely.
It all makes it a good album. But
It's like, I feel like to some extent, like, a good album should have a level of diversity. Like, you don't want every
Yeah.
song feeling
sound
or
exactly the
sounding
same.
I think
Um,
going on that, American Idiot, I think it's all in the same key, C sharp. If you listen to it,
Is it
like
really?
every song uses the same couple chords, just in
Yeah.
different ways.
That'll be really interesting. Yeah, I look forward to having these like deeper discussions after we've all like listened to these pretty deep.
Uh-huh.
Because yeah, I mean, I've listened to American Idiot once or twice, but I don't know it nearly as well as you guys do. So
I mean, didn't you play bass in the musical or whatever?
not in the Broadway show, in the local theater version
Yeah.
of American Idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all 3 of us have American Idiot in our top 20, right?
Which is that's why it's
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Seeded
that'd be
number
why it's
one,
the
yeah.
first seed.
Yep.
Was that the only one that was 3?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Because
Well,
then
Max just couldn't conform to us.
I don't love Green Day. I'm sorry. I don't mind them.
That's blasphemy. Come on.
I'll say it right here, right now. I'm the least punk member of the band. Okay, so we're looking for songwriting ability, emotional response, a little bit of diversity. I feel like there's got to be more.
I mean,
I don't want to say technical skill.
Yeah,
I
like
was gonna
because
say
I
technical skill, but
judge
you can't.
Right.
You
like I
can't
would
really
judge like a pop album differently than I would judge a metal album.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I wouldn't. I guess you can kind of say technical skill, just have the caveat that it's relative to other things in the same
maybe just
genre to an extent.
musicianship is a better
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
I
better
would say
term for it,
musicianship.
yeah.
Yeah.
because
Rather than technicality.
you can. I mean, you can write one of the most beautiful fucking 3-chord songs in the world
Mhm.
and have it just be like piano vocals, you know.
Yeah. Or write the most complex song ever and have it just be chaos. And
Yeah, dude. In Before Ants of the Sky. Because
I don't think I've ever listened to Colors all the way through, so that'll be
You're in for a treat.
interesting.
It's
Yeah. Don't
You
stare at me like that,
kidding?
man.
So
No,
that's
I
what you're gonna have
I
to
haven't
listen
listened to
like
I've only listened to like what 3 Between the Buried Me albums, if you count Automata 1 and 2 as one album.
yeah. Why don't you close it for us?
Hope you guys enjoy this series. It's going to be pretty fun. Don't know how many weeks it's going to be, but it's going to be a couple weeks. So we'll have new content out hopefully every week. And post down below what you guys like, round by round, what you think's going to take it all. And yeah.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
Smash it,
Smash that like button.
subscribe.
Subscribe. Hit the bell.
We should do
Bad
on
YouTube shit.
There's also we've been working on the EP and the single.
yeah, we should probably update people on what we're doing as a band. Also,
I mean, we We kind of posted it on
Let's
Instagram.
save it as a cliffhanger for next week.
All right.
Finish the EP.
We're working on shit
Tune
now.
in next week.
Yeah. All right. Sweet.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Love you all.
Finger
do
guns.
this again soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And I don't want to be another casualty. I'm trapped inside my head, I'm feeling numb. And it's all that I can see, irrationality. I'm trapped inside my head. And there's no black and